John Barrowman!
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you to my gorgeous Luke. Everybody ought to have a Marine, right? I have my own personal one now. Yay! I've been naughty. Come cuff me. That's the new word for it. I'm gonna get a good cuffing. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Great to be here. It's it's not very far from where I live. It's only an hour and a half here to Los Angeles, and I came in the other day, and I left Scott at home. Those of you who know Scott, my husband. Listen, someone's got to look after the dogs and the parents. You guys, we not only have my parents there, but we've got his parents there. So we are overloaded with parents, and he's heading to San Diego right now. And if anyone from San Diego? Yeah! Good. I'll tell you exactly where he's staying, and you can go find him. And freak out his parents, be like, "Are you Mr. and Mrs. Gill?" Yes. You'll love him. Sit down, have a cocktail, and tell him I told you to do it, and he's got to pay, okay? No, that's wrong, because I end up paying in the end, so to speak. Boom. Everybody got a seat? Yes? Good? Standees. What I like to do, everybody, I just like to go ahead and go to questions from people, and I feed off of you, and you feed off of me, because trust me, there's a lot to feed off of. A lot to go around. So if we go right to the questions, yeah? Anybody? If you have a question, I guess there's the microphone, but if you want to shout out, you don't have to stand in the mic, because it'll block everybody's view. Yeah, that's the thing. If you get in line, then just sit down on the ground. Get on your knees, because I am now an MBE. So you all have to bow in front of me, or curtsy, whichever you're more comfortable with. I don't judge. Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Isabella.
Isabella, and you are a cyber Isabella, aren't you?
Yes.
That's awesome. Put your mask down. Come up here and show everybody. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come over here. Come up here. Up, stand up. There you go. Oh, isn't it great? Can you see? What was it like being lifted by a Marine? You don't know, I know. You don't know now, but wait till you're 18. You'll be like, "Come and lift me!" That's awesome. I can't even tell if you're smiling or laughing or crying right now. So let me lift up the mask. You do that. Who made the outfit?
My mom.
Your mom. Where's your mom? Yay, Mom! You know what I particularly love? I love that your cyber man, cyber girl, right, has floral boots, shoes. I love it. It's just a touch of the over-the-topness with the cyber girl. It's really good. Yeah? You don't even know what to say, do you? No? Enjoy the moment, because see all those women and men out there? They are so jealous of you right now. Because you're getting hugs and everything. Shut up! So what's your question? You forgot now, haven't you? No!
I figured out that Torchwood, if you unscramble it, it spells Doctor Who.
Who knew? Awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, and that's good that you're reading into things like that, because there's a lot of other secret things in Torchwood and Doctor Who that kind of crisscross. I could sit here and tell you for hours, but they'd get really upset. Because you already know, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great that you just discovered that, but you do know that how old are you? 9. I love the way you can work that gum to the side of the mouth before you talk. Do you do that in school? No? Did they let you chew gum in school? No, that's probably better. But if they ever do, tell you what, just take the gum and put it under your teacher's desk. And if you ever have a runny nose, take that bogey and put it under there too. Like you've never done it. So was that your question, or you're just telling me about Torch? Do you have something else? That was it. Well, good for you for figuring that out, but I'll tell you one thing. How would you say you were? 9. So about 13 is when I think you could probably start watching Torchwood. Unless you have a really cool liberal mom. Then we just skip episode 2. Okay? Everything else, and if you have any questions and mom can't answer them, you ask Uncle John. Okay? All right. Well done, sir. Hey! I love it. Love it. Yes.
I have 2 questions.
You can stand up now.
Rise.
I am not going to knight you.
The question is, can I get a smooch?
Can you get a smooch? No, I can't. I'm not allowed to kiss because I have Ebola.
Oh.
Sorry.
Right. How about a song?
I'm kidding, by the way, sweetheart. You're okay. Maybe at the end.
Okay.
Maybe at the end, yes.
All right.
Lovely. Thank you very much, though. Yes, sir. Hi.
Hi again.
How are you?
I
gave you a bowl earlier,
Yeah.
didn't I? You were the guy who said, can I shake your hand? Then you went, a hug, and I went, Ebola!
Right. So, we all love you for Doctor Who and for Torchwood.
Yes.
And we're all getting to love you again with Arrow.
Nice.
I just wanted to see if maybe you could be in a future Flash episode. Oh. Maybe Arrow and Flash team up.
I think there's a vacant chair over there. Kill me. Oh yeah, fuck you. I don't know. I can't answer that question because, number one, I would be fired if I gave anything away about the future, but we all know there is a crossover episode, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all know that because that was spoiled already by our producers at Comic-Con, but I can't tell you anything else about it. But I will tell you what I found, right? Which is, you're really excited, aren't you? You'd love to snoop through my bedroom. And you'd find lots of Marines in the closet. In fact, you know, Scott, when we did the Ice Bucket Challenge, if you've not seen it, Luke, go look at it. Because Scott, if anybody looks it up, then hand it to Luke here, because Scott's wearing a Marine, a Marine gave it to us. A red jockstrap with the U.S. Marines on the front of it. And it's filled out so well, it says U.S. Marines. Back to your question. Sorry. It's distracting over there, isn't it? He wore that especially for me today. Yes. Awesome. I'm getting it off of him later. You don't know that yet, by the way. Spoiler alert. So there's no, I'm not going to say anything about it, but what I did find, you all know I'm a nerd and geek myself. I love this whole world. I love that I'm a part of it. I love that I am Captain Jack and that I'm, Malcolm Merlin and I get to do all these fun things and I see myself on posters and I'm a 6-inch doll and a 12-inch doll and a 15-inch, so I've got multiple things to choose from. It's awesome. It's always good, ladies, isn't it, to have different sizes in your drawer, isn't it? I'm talking action figures. I was comic book hunting, as you do, at these cons, flipping through and comic book, and I went, oh my God, because I was looking through Flash stuff. Guess what I found?
Picture of you.
Flash cover comic book with the Flash, fabulous, and Malcolm Merlin on a rooftop like that. I'm like, So what did I do? Took a photograph of it and sent it right to the producers. I'm like, total, this is gonna set my employment for years. I can't wait. I have no idea though. So I sent it to them and I've yet to hear anything back. So just watch this space.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir. Hi.
Hi. So you had a panel yesterday.
Yeah.
And you said that you're going to tell a story.
What story?
A story about
You gotta remind me.
the craziest thing you've ever gotten from a fan.
All right, I'm warning you. This may be the ride home that the families don't like. What are they talking about? Maybe ask your father. Yes, I'll try to be as vague as I possibly can, but it's me. I gotta be right up there. So good luck, everybody, and kids. You have no clue what I'm talking about. I was at a con and I was sitting at a table and a Klingon male and female approached me. And when you're ever approached by a Klingon, you either do one of two things. You speak Klingon or you run. I, however, speak Klingon. Okay? No, I don't. I'm kidding. They're like, oh my God, he's so cool. He's such a nerd. He speaks Klingon. There's so many jokes about Klingons that I'm not even gonna go there. He came up to the table and he started speaking Klingon, and to me it sounded like, I'm like, I have no clue what you're saying, dude. And his wife went, just speak normal. Handed me a box, and the box was, you know the Captain Jack picture where I'm riding a rocket? It's usually on a Friday, I only ride the rockets, but oh my God, I thought that was a good one. In place of the rocket
Oh dear.
was a marital aid. Right, ladies? And men. Shall we say of the 15-inch size. And I'm riding it. And I said, oh, that's a fun box. And when you think that's fun, you should see my Klingon wives. I was like, oh, dude, this is getting too far. And then I said, well, what should I? He said, open it up. I opened it up, and it was inside. Get it? I like to take everything home that I'm given by fans. I didn't want to disappoint this Klingon. So I took it home, and I approached Scott, and he said, what did you get? You know, what did the fans give you today? And I went, well, you're going to love this one. And I put it down on the table. He went, what's that? I said, open the box. He went, really? I said, oh, no, really, open the box. He opened up the box. He went, Jesus Christ. I said, is he in the box too? That's a double whammy, double barrel. He said, no. He said, who gave this to you? I said, a Klingon. He said, throw it in the goddamn garbage because they're filthy. You don't know where it's been. So I did. So somewhere out there, some garbage collector, a poor woman with a cap on her head, sifting through garbage, got a 15-inch Klingon dildo, and God love her. That was it. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever received. Never mind. Yes. Just hold it up higher, pretend it's me. Hi. I will. Don't worry. You guys are, I'm like, come on, stick with the program. It's Sunday. I don't give a shit. Come on. This is the Church of Barrowman today. Oh, and that goes online. Somebody is going to send me some hate mail because of that. That preacher in Houston. Yeah. Never mind. I keep looking over there. That's the Church of Barrowman. Yes.
That's actually your temple.
My temple you're not seeing.
As an aspiring actor, I was wondering what was the best experience on a superhero or Doctor Who set that you had?
The best experience. I don't kind of gauge things as the best and the worst because for me, let me go back. As a kid, when I was able to consciously understand television and what was going on. For some reason, I was connected with sci-fi, Doctor Who right off the bat. I connected with Buck Rogers in the 25th century. I connected with Battlestar Galactica, the original series. I connected with even things like The Greatest American Hero, just because he was, So I was into $6 Million Man, OMG. I went to Universal Studios and they picked me out of the audience, and to the point I was like thrusting myself on the stage. And my mother's going, stand back, stand back. I'm not standing back. I want to be the $6 Million Man. Mom! So my mother went, shove, and I was out there. Yes, I'm in! And I did that whole thing. Did anyone ever go to Universal Studios when they did that? Remember they stood, I was the kid, and they stood me there and they said, just pretend you're jumping. I'm like, not a problem. And I went, and then I jumped over an airplane on a big, green screen. It was, now we'd be like, that's crap, whatever that is. But it was great. So for me to become someone who's in the industry, and I was doing musical theater for 13 to 15 years prior to being on television. I loved it. If I was doing West End shows and some stuff on Broadway, to this day, I would be completely happy because I would be working. But then all of a sudden the show, which I'd been watching as a kid, Doctor Who, came along, and I was asked to be Captain Jack Harkness, and I remember in the meeting saying to Russell and Julie Gardner and Phil Collinson, our producers and creators, I said, not many people take risks with musical theater people. But if you do, I love this show. I love what it stands for. I want to be a part of it, and I think I will work my hardest to be the best Captain Jack that I can be, and hopefully the audience will like me too, and you'll be proud of what I do. And from that point on, it was the passion that we all had, so I became a part of that show. I wake up every single day, doing Arrow now. I get up and I never complain about my day, because when I'm going to work, I'm living my dream. And I'm living the dream because also you guys, for some reason, have connected with Captain Jack, with Malcolm Merlin, with, Springtime for Hitler, with all the other stuff. Perhaps it was because I was blonde. Whatever it is, you guys have connected with it, and you've made my dreams come true. So, no, seriously, so every day for me waking up, I am doing what I always dreamt about. So I never complain, I never get pissed off at the people, well, sometimes the people, if someone else pisses me off, I'll defend myself back, but I'm totally grateful for it. So every day is a great moment. Every day is one of those favorite moments because I'm doing what I love to do. I go back again when I was a kid. I remember one of my defining moments as a kid when I knew that Doctor Who was, I look back on it and I think, if I'd known then what I was going to be doing now, I was probably, it was the first, here's how weird things happen. Our first episode for the 9th Doctor was, I wasn't there yet, but I was cast, right? I was cast when Billy and Chris Eccleston were cast right away. We were the first 3 people to be cast in the brand new series of Doctor Who. Yet I had to keep my mouth shut for about 6 months. Do you know how hard that was? Like when I got the job, I was doing Anything Goes in the West End. My niece Claire was with me. I went off to the meeting. 30 minutes after the meeting happened, I came back to the West End. My niece is with me. She's like, what's the matter? And I said, I don't know. I got a phone call right there and then, and they said, you got the job. I kid you not. My niece says she remembers it like that. I ran and did a backflip off a wall. And this woman came up to me and she went, my dear boy, what's wrong? And I went, I can't tell you! I can't! I so wanted to give her hints. Couldn't. When I was a little boy, so the Autons is the first one. When I was a little boy, I used to hide inside, because John Pertwee was my first Doctor. And John Pertwee, I remember, we went back, I think it was John, when it was the Autons. Store shop dummies that just kind of stood. They were so fake looking, but scared shitless as a kid. The hand would go down, boom, and they would kill people. They'd fire on them. My mother used to have to hide me inside her coat as a little boy. Thank God it was a fur coat in the time and they were still legal, you know? I was like, oh, this is so warm to get past the autons. Yeah. I would not walk past a storefront with dummies in it for a year. So when I then was an adult, cast in it, and I found out that the first episode of the series was about the autons, I thought, this is gonna be a ship that's gonna sail and it's gonna be glorious. So I jumped on board and it was fantastic. All those little things that happened. So favorite day, every day. Favorite right now today is standing here. I mean, you're gonna go, oh, that's so cynical. Well, piss off if it is, but it's standing here talking to you guys. I love talking about it. So that's my favorite. You know, I don't answer favorite because that's my best moments of Doctor Who is every single day. Every single day I'm working. Thank you. And I've had way too much coffee this morning. Oh, what were those pills last night? No, that's not really bad. He slipped a Viagra in my drink. No, it was Paul. Do you remember what they were called? It was a vitamin thing. Alpha Brain. Have you heard of them? Oh my God, Joe Rogan, Alpha Brain. One of the other Marines was like, yeah, just take 2 of these. I'm like, the last time a Marine gave me 2 pills, I don't remember a thing. So I went, I tried them because they said it'll help stimulate your serotonin. Uh-oh, was right. Holy shit. I'm gonna be on The Talking Dead tonight. Seriously, watch it. It's seriously good. And then watch the show afterwards. But I watched it last night before I went to sleep, having taken those pills, and apparently they said, you'll have really lucid dreams. What's really weird is I was in control in the dream. I was totally in control, but there were zombies everywhere. I'm lucky still to be standing here with limbs. I'm lucky I'm not eating you. Although some of you would enjoy that. It was freaky. I woke up this morning, Carol went, how did you sleep? I said, it was fucking amazing. Amazing! I said, but I don't know how I survived. She said, well, I said, it was so real. So real. She said, what's that mark on you? I went, that's only a zit, never mind. Yeah, but that was weird. That was totally weird. I went off on a tangent there, so sorry. Yes.
Okay, so, all right, I'm really excited.
Are you?
Yes!
Don't pee.
Okay, I'll try not to.
It has happened before.
Okay, so after you decided you wanted to get into acting, what steps did you take to get to where you are now?
I slept with loads of people. She's like, seriously? Oh, I would love to have done that. No. Many people wanted me to, but I was like, no, I want to do this on my own merits, you know? And then if I'm successful and I decide then that I want to do that, then it's my choice, but I've not decided to do that either. I know, you know, it's not really a thing of I decided to be an actor. I just have always known what I've wanted to do for my entire life. Since I just have. Except when I was probably about 9, I wanted to be an airline pilot, okay? And yeah, I know. And then I realized as I was looking at one of the pilots, it wasn't really that I wanted to be a pilot, I just liked what was in the uniform. Right? So that was a discovery right there and then. So the pilot went out the window. Not while I was flying the plane though. But you know, now my husband Scott, I made him, he's got his pilot's license, so we have a wonderful pilot's outfit that he wears every so often. And I'll leave it at that. Come fly with me. I think those pills are still working. Is this a dream? So I would say, you know, I've just always known, I know what I've been put on this planet to do. And that is, it's to entertain people. And whether that's through writing books with my sister or being on TV shows like Arrow, Doctor Who, Torchwood, or singing, making albums, doing stage productions, doing panels, or doing things like this, that's what I've been put on here, the planet to do. The entertainment thing for me is about the entertainment business. That's what you have to remember. It is a business. It's not all about, you know, the motivation and the feeling, because when it becomes too much about that, people tend to get lost and forget that they're actually human, you know, and that they need to respond to other people. I call them, you know, those are what I call wanky actors. That's what I'm not. My motto is get in, say your lines, hit the mark, feel it, do it with enough guts and gumption and emotion that you guys connect to it. I don't need to waste people's time to worry about why I need to walk over to that chair for 3 hours. It just doesn't work that way. The director wants you to go to the chair, find a reason to go to the chair and get to the chair, right? It's something when I realized I wanted to do it, actually commit to it, was probably when I was about 19, 20, because I went off to school for, you know, for a little while. I went to study. At that time, there wasn't a lot of theater programs or musical theater programs, so I went to a school, I went to University of Iowa, and they wanted me to be an opera singer, and they're trying to train me to be an opera singer, and I'm in these classes going, whoa, okay, this is not me. So I stuck it for 6 months, and then I left, and I started trying to get a job, and I went to a place called Opryland USA, and I worked there for 2 summers, and when I was there, I loved every second of it, but I realized I needed training, because I needed training to understand. This is where I become now the wanky actor. The craft of acting, right? You should understand that. So if you're looking to get in the business, I would say get the best training you possibly can. Don't forget who you are on the inside. Never pretend to be somebody else. Never forget who you are also on the outside. And just work really, really hard, because I'm really lucky, but it's difficult. And it's also very challenging. And you have to get in with the right people. You got to network. Remember, it's a business. So the more networking you do with people, the better off you're going to be, because your path might cross, like, gosh, what was it? We were talking yesterday. She flew back last night, oh my God. Gwendolyn, yeah. Gwendolyn and I were talking yesterday, and I've never met her before, and she and I just hit it off like that. And I love her because she's ginormous. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? From Game of Thrones. And she said immediately, I want to work with you. And I'm like, honey, I want to work with you. She's like, we're going to make this happen. I said, okay. So it's things like that, you know, it may never happen, but the fact is she might go back to whoever she's talking to and say, you know, John Barrowman, I'd love to do a project with him, da-da-da-da-da, and a TV show might pop out of it, you know? So it's about networking. It's all those kind of things. Are you going to get in the business?
Well, I'm actually a performer. I perform Shakespeare, and I also do, I also teach beginner stunts. So I just don't want to. I've done my share of television, especially Spanish television. I was on the show, and then I ended up getting carried off by a midget, but I don't want to do that stuff.
How wonderful! We all want to be carried off by a midget. It's great!
But yeah, I do have, you know, some experience, and I do have great trainers, both acting and stunts. So.
Okay, see now here's my, this is me, if I were to be really critical, choose one. Acting or stunts, you can't do both. You gotta do one or the other.
Acting.
Okay, because like when we do our stuff, we do our stunts, part of it, right? So if you want to be a stunt woman, go be the best stunt woman you can possibly be, right? You want to be, I'm not kidding, I'm not being silly when I say this. You want to be a janitor? You go be in the best janitor that you can possibly be. You want to be a bus driver? You drive that damn bus the best you can. You want to be an actress? Go be the best actress you can possibly be, right? Commit to the one thing that you want to do in your life, and you will be the happiest person in the world. You really will. You know, some people are going, yeah, but that's not the way it works. I know that, but that's life. If we don't get the dreams that we achieve, it's always still good to have dreams. It's always still good to push to look at something, because seriously, they can happen. They can, because they've happened to me, and that's why I'm so grateful for it. But other people, it's a little more struggle. And I get that, and that's why I like to help make other people's dreams come true. But commit to one thing and do it. Stunts or acting? Which one?
Acting.
Done.
Yeah.
And I hope one day we work together. Telenovela! Hey, ¿cómo está? Muy bien. Hi.
Hello,
my name is Steven.
Hi, Steven.
And I'm a big fan of yours, and I think you're great as Malcolm on Arrow.
Yes.
But I actually want to ask you about a B movie you did about a decade ago.
You ask away, because that B movie bought me my
Shark
first
Attack
house.
3.
Yes?
It's one of my favorite B movies. It was the first I ever saw with my parents. And I'm wondering, what was it like making this movie?
It was cold. Do you all know the movie he's talking about? Yeah. Show it to everybody. Shark Attack 3 Megalodon. It sounds like a porn film, doesn't it? Shark Attack 3 Megalodon. I was asked to do it. It was one of those movies that, you know, I was between jobs. I was still doing what I was doing in the UK musical theater. I was doing children's television at the time. I was working for the BBC, and this company came along and said, would you do this film? And I'm like, how many times did you get offered to do a film, right? B movie or not. So I went and I did it, right? And I went off and did the film, and it was probably, at the time, I did, again, the best I possibly could, but it was probably the crappiest film that was ever made. But
that's what's so great about it.
Exactly! Because right now, that's ranked as one of the top 5 B-rated movies in the world. And the line from it...
I know.
I bet you do. Which rhymes with, what do you say we go home and watch I Love Lucy? Got me? What do you say I take you home and... Got it? That line was a joke. I did it as an outtake because the director said to me, do something to get an expression out of a girl that was so Botox that she couldn't move her face. My co-star, I'm like, I'm trying to make love to her in the bathtub, which is hard enough for me. Come on, you know what I mean? She done got what I like, and I'm motivation here. Think of Scott. Okay. Kissy, kissy, kissy. And she's going, something wrong? Oh, that's great. So the director said, say something that's going to get, you know, trigger an emotion from her, or, you know, a facial expression at least. I have to say the line, I'm very sorry. Okay? Put your hands over your kids' ears. So I'm standing and we're filming. Thank you, sweetheart. You did it yourself. Good for you. Put your hands over your ears, kids. I'm standing with her and I walk up to her and say, yeah, I'm really tired. What do you say I take you home and eat your pussy? That was the line. She turned and she went, meanwhile, the crew are going, They kept it in the movie. And it's now ranked as one of the best B lines in a movie in the top 5. The best was the dub for terrestrial television when they show it like on the Sci-Fi Channel or one of the other channels. It's, what do you say I take you home and watch I Love Lucy? Yeah, and the best is her expression is still the same as, oh, that's awesome. But that was a fun movie to do, and it was, we were in Bulgaria, or Sofia, Bulgaria, and, sorry, in Varna, and it was, and Sofia, and the scenes were all, this is what's really crazy. We were in the water reservoir for the city, filming. And I had no clue. I'm like, this is a great lake, and, you know, it's a big dam and everything, it looks fabulous. I just gotta pee. Nobody told me. It was probably illegal to film in there in the first place, and I wondered why things were getting sucked down. You know, pieces of the set were being pulled down because there was a big drainage thing going to the town. Terrible. Awesome, though. But it was great. It was great. And I love that film. I love when people watch it. There's a lot of college kids now play drinking games with it. Because every other word in it is the F-bomb. So every time you say the F-bomb, you have to drink. You're drunk before 3 or 4 minutes in the film. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I just want to preempt this with saying that my brother is a Marine, and every Thanksgiving he invites about half of Camp Pendleton over to our house. So you and Scott are both cordially invited.
I'm coming. More ways than one. I'll taste that turkey. audience would be this prudish. What? They're not from LA. Anyways, yes, go
It's a
ahead.
commuter con. So
It's what?
it's a commuter con.
A commuter con. God love the commuters.
Right.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you, because I'm doing a performance where I have to portray a con man, and we all know that Captain Jack Harkness, before he was the respectable leader of Torchwood, he was a con man.
Yes.
Yonjo respected him.
Yes.
So, more ways than one. But how can I portray that devilish charm that made all of us fall in love with Captain Jack on the very first episode that we saw him?
You do it by being yourself. Seriously. You put yourself, you don't try to be somebody else. There's a lot of John and Jack and a lot of Jack and John, right? Finally, you're with me now. That only took 30 minutes. The thing about playing a character, which I don't like to say very often, is you got to use your own personality. So you put yourself in those situations, and how would you deal with that in that situation? That's the only way you can do it. That's the only advice I can give you. Putting your personality into it. Don't come out with some kind of, oh, I'm now a con man and I'm going to con you. Doesn't work that way. For me, if I were a con man, I'd still smile like I smile because that would con the shit out of people, right? Consequently, why is Malcolm Merlin, although it's very kind of tonal on a very different level, he still smiles. But not as big as Captain Jack would have smiled. So I'm still there as a person, and that smile is me, or the laughs, you know, or the one-liners that are going to, you know, that was almost a spoiler there. No, I like to put a little humor into everything that I do too. So, you know, that's part of me. So you have to be part of yourself. I'm sure you could con somebody if you had to. I bet you conned some of those Marines. See? You're smiling. Yeah.
Is it conning if they're willing?
Oh! Good for you. You lucky bitch. Yeah, but that's my advice. Be yourself. Just be yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hi,
Hello.
my name's Marina. It's 2 quick questions.
Go ahead.
My ceramics professor, his name is Shane Kina. He's the biggest crush on you, but he can't be here.
Don't ask me to do a video to say hi to him.
Oh.
No, seriously, because if I do one for you, I have a rule. If I do one for you, I got to do it for everybody who's asked me at the table over the last 2 days to do it. My rule is, sorry, this is me explaining. The rule is that, and I did it from the very beginning of my career, I get asked so many times to say hi to people, do a birthday video, or say hi if they can't be here. If I did that, I'd be doing it all day long, because I'd have to do everybody's. But I appreciate you asking, and I'm sorry he can't be here, but it's his tough luck, isn't it?
And for the question is only for you and your sister. With any collaborative work in general, there's always going to be like a conflict of interest between the people.
Never, because I just hit her. I'm her brother, I'm allowed to. You know, seriously, I'm not joking. She'll say something like, shut up! And then my mother comes and goes, don't you hit your sister! Sorry, I'm sorry! And then walk past and I go, stop. No, there is conflict of interest, but as adults, all joking aside, we know how to work through it. And I trust what she does when she's writing it. She trusts what I do when I'm helping form and do the story and the character development and all that kind of stuff and pushing. If she doesn't understand, nobody knows Captain Jack better than I do, right? So if she has a question about if we're doing a Jack book, if she's gone off with all the notes and she's stuck, she'll ring me. And she'll say, I think that, I'm like, no, don't do that. He would not do that, right? So we trust each other. There are times we've argued about things, but you have to be able to give and take. So that sounds weird to be able to give and take with your sister. Yeah, it's all good. Yes? That's all right.
Hi.
Hello.
So I didn't get into Doctor Who and Torchwood or any of this until a year ago, so hey guys.
Welcome.
Join us.
We always welcome people, no matter how late they decide to get on board the TARDIS. Don't you worry. Right?
Yeah!
Better late than never.
But the first time I ever saw you was in my favorite musical of all time, which you mentioned earlier, The Producers.
Yes.
So I just wanted to ask you, how much fun was it to sing the line, Deutschland is happy and gay?
It was so great. Because I know lots of gay Germans. No, it was awesome. And working with Mel Brooks was great. And there was when we were filming that, we were actually filming in a part of Brooklyn, across the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, and we were in a neighborhood that was, to get the right term here, I don't want to get it wrong, they were Orthodox Jewish. It's an Orthodox Jewish community, right? So they're very firm on their beliefs and their faith, okay? And we're rehearsing in a big parking lot in the middle of this area, and yeah, in costume. And they're all giving it, I'm not gonna do it, but they're giving it da-da-da-da-da, you know, with the hand up and all this stuff going on, and they're dancing around, and everyone's singing Springtime for Hitler, and we go, we look around, and there's, you know, all the men and women start to come up to the fence, and they're standing at the fence, rightly so, quite angry. Mel Brooks comes on, he goes, "Jesus Christ, get in here, everybody! You want to get us all killed?" I can't do his voice very well, but you know that gruffiness. And we're all looking around going like, "What? We're just rehearsing." He goes, "Get in the building!" It almost never happened. Yeah, so it was a great experience. It took 2 weeks to film that sequence. Because, yeah, really, hello, boy did they have money for that film. It took a long time to film that, and it was just about the precision that they wanted doing it. And I love doing it myself, and blondes have more fun. Anyway, so my mother didn't like me as a blonde, nor did Scott. It was, yeah, no. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. I know they've just given me the 5-minute warning, but they started me late, so we're gonna run over. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, sweetie.
Hello, River. We've never crossed, but I'm sure our swords would be good together.
I agree, and I'm sure we can find some time.
I have all the time in the world, because I can't die, girl.
Well, according to some theories, neither do I.
Oh!
My question.
Yes.
Kisses are off the book, but are hugs okay?
If I hug you, sweetheart, I gotta hug everybody.
That's all
I know,
right.
but it's so ready, everybody now. We're gonna do virtual hug. Ready, go! And a little bit of a grind.
Backup question, then.
Yes, go ahead.
If you were ever able to play a film noir PI detective, what would your name be?
Make it good.
Cover your ears, kids. Put it this way, you can cut it down yourself. Richard Throb.
That sounds more like a porn film.
Yeah, but have you ever seen some of the detective, the books that they make of the noir stuff? Some of the titles. I bought a bunch yesterday out on the floor. I'm gonna post them. They're awesome.
Well, I've written a film noir movie if you ever want to star in it.
Well, let me know. Send it to my agent. Don't send it to me to read, because I'm not legally allowed to read it. Okay? Because if I write something and it's like yours, you'll sue me, and I don't want you suing me.
Fair enough.
Spank me, but not sue me. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
You were me yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually you. It happens.
Really? Okay.
I'm the girl you. It's all right. So, I know you and your sister film a lot of your live things and you post them on the internet. Have you ever read any fan fiction?
I am leaving that up to you guys, right?
Well, you know me, right?
I know you write it. I have seen some of it, and I have to not look at it because some of it is I love the fact that you're writing is great, and the fact that you're doing that. I think it's wonderful. But it's some of it. It's just you need to take a break. That's some imagination going on there because some of it's a little bit freaky. I gotta be honest, have you ever read fan fiction?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of it's really good, some of it's not so good, some of it is freaky. But if you're writing, that's a wonderful thing. So I tend to leave the fan fiction up to the fans because again, if I read it, and I have this idea and I write a script about me and a little person in a tree, there's a problem. And someone else has done that, there's a problem, right? So that's why I can't really read all that stuff. But I do get sent fan fiction a lot, and when it comes in an envelope and I open the envelope, I'm like, this is fan fiction, I know, and I'm really scared about what I'm gonna read. Jesus. It's good though, good. Do you write it?
Sometimes.
Good. What have you written? Or you can't tell me that you're a freak. And I love you for it all the more. You're welcome. Keep dressing up as me because I like to have a little bit of color. Yes.
I was just wondering, do you have any...
I would love for you yesterday to have gone to the Hello Kitty convention dressed like that. I am Bitch Kitty.
I'm actually allergic to cats.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm allergic to pussies too, so. That's what you call a cat.
I was just wondering, are there any special or favorite props that you've kept from some of the stuff that you've been in?
Things that I've kept?
Yeah, like...
That might have accidentally fallen into my bag from the Torchwood set or the Doctor Who set and ends up in my house in my treasure box? I have no idea. There might be some things, like a squareness gun. Don't go ooh. It's awesome. One of the things I did take was there's a book that Captain Jack reads. Do you know what? Someone said, "Oh, do you know what it is?" Don't worry, I forgot the name too, so you know. But it was a book that anytime they say, when I was sitting at the desk and the scene was happening and I was behind the people in the scene, they'd say, do something, John. Give Jack some life. So I picked this book up, and it was something about space junk, and it was about a 1950s book that I just kept reading and loved, and it was always in his desk. And the day that I left, it just happened to disappear. We did the last, but it showed up at my house. So weird. So I have that book, but that book actually, a lot of the fans have found out what the book is, and some of them bring it and have me sign it, which is really awesome. So it'd be great if it went into reprint, just because of that kind of stuff. So it's lovely. Those little things, yes. I have my coat. But I bought the coat. Yeah, I had them make me one, the wardrobe department make me the exact same replica coat, the hero coat, and I had them make Scott a Doctor Who coat.
Which doctor?
And you would want to play Doctor Who with us. Because my vortex manipulator is wonderful. His sonic screwdriver is awesome.
I got my Catwoman whip.
The what?
I'll get my Catwoman whip.
You'll get your Catwoman whip. Nice. And I'll get my Dalek out with its plunger. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A couple last questions. We got to 5 past. Next question. Awesome. Look at you. Roy.
I'm Thornton. I was just wondering.
Your name's Thornton?
Thornton, yeah.
Nice name.
Thanks. I was just wondering which of the Arrow characters is your favorite besides yourself?
Thornton, we gotta talk. I have to say, although I love my daughter, Thea, okay, I adore Stephen Amell. And Stephen is very funny with me because he knows what I'm like. He knows I'm a joker. He knows I'm a lot of fun. And the other day when I was getting ready to catch a flight back to Los Angeles, and he came into the makeup trailer, and when they're doing his makeup for sequences and he's got the scarring, he comes in, and I'm sorry to say this because you're probably like either ooh or whatever, but he comes in a little thing that covers all his personal bits, right? And that's all he's wearing. And I'm usually in the trailer at that time. I don't know how it always works out there. But being a good gay man, I'm always there. And I'm like, hi, hey. He's like, John Barrowman, what you doing here? I'm like, I have no idea. But you're here. And he lies down he gets down on the makeup table, and he's lying like this, right? And he's lying there, just woo, just covering the choo-choo, and he says, Barrowman, come here, and I'm like, yeah. And I stand while he's getting his makeup put on, so there's a lot of camaraderie there, but it's very difficult not to make eye contact with him at that point. And he'll actually say to me, Barrowman, what are you looking at? I'm like, you don't want to know right now. Because that scar is just getting longer and longer and longer. So Stephen I love. I think he's amazing. Okay, I like him because he's good fun. And there was another day we were filming a sequence. I think it's already aired in the. Let me just think here that it has. It has the sequence where we are in the court, like the city scene. Did you watch it last week?
I haven't seen the one.
You haven't seen it, so it's just a spoiler.
I'm fine with that.
I'm having a conversation with Oliver. Malcolm. They meet in the middle of the city because Malcolm says that it's. We're doing the scene. I have to step down for this one, and we're talking, and I'm looking at Stephen, and cameras are going around us, and I have a very big habit of telling the camera guys, keep running. When they shout cut, just keep running, and that means I'm going to do something stupid. So we're doing the scene, and I'm going, this is my city. Yeah. Dr. Merlin, and he's looking at me, he turned, and I'm supposed to then turn and walk away, and I look and I say, the last line to Stephen, and I'm like, huh. And they go, cut, and I went, shoot that poison arrow. This is Stephen's reaction. Fucking Barrowman. Also, Colton, Roy, who you're dressed up as. Awesome kid, great guy. And, I always say to Colton that his expressions, a lot of people are saying online that we look alike. He looks like a younger version of me. I'm like, if you thought I'm better looking, God love you, honey. If I looked like that when I was young, great, no problem. But yeah, the whole cast, although a lot of casts say this, truly mean it with ours. We do get along. We have a great time together. We all love what we do, and we all love the show. And I'm glad to see you dressed up. And I'm choking right now. Thank you, Thornton. Last one. You are the last one. Sorry, girls. Sorry, ladies. She's the last one. Thank you, though, for getting on your knees for me. I love you. And your fez. And your ears. Yes. And your Doctor Who coat. 11th. Go ahead.
Hi, so my name's Morel, and before I start, I want to make a statement.
Yes.
You are for sure the hilarious man, most funniest man I've ever met, and I think the people will agree with me.
I'm sure that's funny.
So, I know in Arrow this seems like really menacing and ominous. So, aside from the previous thing you said, what are the most funniest moments that have happened in the Arrow scene?
Well, I haven't been in Arrow long enough, but let me tell you something that's happened funny when I was doing Torchwood. Can I do that? Yeah. Great. One of the things was a sequence when I was being buried in a chunk of cement. Yeah. Have you heard this story before?
No.
You have?
No.
No, okay. Well, the chunk of cement, and I'm in this sequence. I'm notorious. Was notorious on the Torchwood set for getting what I call the boys out. You know what I'm saying? Getting the bits and bobs out, and throwing Eve Miles off when she would be doing a camera shot. Close up on her, I'd be standing there, the camera's going over my shoulder, I'd be standing in the coat, she'd finish filming, she'd look at the camera guys, I'd say, keep rolling, and they'd look at her and they'd be laughing, and she'd say to me, he's got it out again, doesn't he? And I'd be like, oh yes. So this sequence where I'm getting thrown off a cliff, Yanto's pushing me off the cliff in a cement block, the cement block explodes, out comes Jack, naked. I am meant to wear a cover over everything, right?
It fell off, right?
What? It fell, you're right, it fell off! Just for you there! It fell off. I don't know how, but it fell right off. So as I'm getting up, they're gonna come around in a car, and I've told the camera crew again, when we cut, please, you know, just keep filming. And they come around a corner, they're all supposed to get out of the car. It's supposed to be Kai Owen, Eve, and Yanto get out of the car and walk towards me. And I say to the camera crew, you know, I told them what's going to happen because some reason this just blew off. And before I stood up, I kind of warmed everything up a little bit, you know? To make it, because they had to be seeing things from a far distance, so I wanted them to be able to see everything. So I stand up, and the car pulls around, and they open their doors, and they get out of the car, and I stand up, and I just start standing. Standing. And I know the camera's already gone higher, so the camera's above me. But Kai gets out of the car first, and he walks out, slams his door, and he gets up, and he goes, ooh, walking towards me. And then you have Gareth, who gets out of the car, who plays Yanto, and he gets out of the car, and he gets up, and he goes, walking towards me. And then Eve, she comes out of the car, and Eve gets out of the car, and she goes, can't tell if she liked it or she was so embarrassed, whatever. But if you go back and you watch that sequence, look at their faces because they put it in. Now, that aside, what was the funniest bit? I'm standing naked, but what I didn't tell them is what I put on my feet to protect the bottom of my feet. We're in a quarry, it's wet. I gotta keep myself dry, I don't want my feet cut. So what did I do? I put on maxi pads with wings on my feet. And I start walking towards them, you know, and it's falling off, and it's now not as cold as it was, and it's there, but my God, my feet are getting really heavy, because these freaking things are absorbent. Jesus, are they absorbent! By the time I got to them, I had freaking mattresses on my feet. And you can hear, when we did the sound afterwards, you can hear. And I'm like, this is, and Eve's like, what's the matter? I'm like, look, and she went, well, now you know how we feel! Guys, it's been absolutely wonderful, and you made my life amazing, and I totally appreciate it. It's why I feel that I have to give 100% to you all the time, and I hope you understand that, and I love you for it, and thank you very much for coming. Oh, the gentleman in the back, here. When I meet the doctor, when I prove my worth, and when I meet the doctor, what I've waited for since birth, and with all his doctor wisdom, by my looks, he won't be blinded. Do you think the doctor is dumb? Or like, oods, he's so small-minded? No. You say to me, I see who you truly are, Jack. A man on whom I can rely. And that's where we'll begin, the doctor and I. The song I recorded, I took the words from Wicked and Stephen Schwartz, and I did a song about the doctor. It's available online if you want to hear it, the whole thing. Thank you very much. I love you guys. I really appreciate it.
It's Halloween, so that means free candy. This'll be good. Hi, have you seen a girl with blonde hair probably wearing pink running around here?
Over there, yeah. That side. Not here.
God, where the heck are they? Seriously, how many places could a small petite blonde hide? I don't, oh my gosh, Jewel.
I know about all that fan fiction stuff.
I love her.
I've come across it over the years. It's gross.
And now, the real fun begins.